number 22 today. It's Groundhog Day. You got to start to look at what number it was. Practice number 22 today. Good workout in shorts. Only about an hour and a half out here, but we got some great things done in the kicking game. A lot of the kind of full speed, big picture type stuff. We've done a lot of individual work to this point, but today was a good big picture day for the kicking game. And then we got a chance to polish some things up for the offense and defense for the scrimmage tomorrow. But I keep saying this, I like the attitude, I like the way they're working. I think everybody's ready to start hitting somebody else. I think they're tired of hitting each other. I think they're tired of practicing. They're ready to get their legs back, ready to get into the season. And that's, at this point, 8 days away.
What's the goal of tomorrow's scrimmage?
I want to get the kicking game done for sure. We've scrimmaged a lot of offensive and defensive plays to this point, but we need a lot of work on the kicking game. That's the one thing that you always worry about, because you can't replicate in the opening game the full speed action of the kicking game. So we'll get quite a bit of kicking game work tomorrow. We'll get our ones a handful of reps where we give them a chance to get ready. I mean, I want them to get enough to kind of break a sweat and get out there and get ready for the game, but then we'll let the guys that are still competing for position start. Really, they're going to battle quite a bit, and they'll get quite a number of plays. So I would imagine, predicated by the player, the experience, and how much they need tomorrow is how much they'll get.
Do you have any concern when you're scrimmaging this late in
Yes.
fall camp?
Yes. Hold your breath. Tomorrow's an awful day. It's a day that you have to do, but it's a day that you worry about, because you've got guys that have been through 3 weeks of camp that you just want to make sure you keep everybody healthy. But you know what? It's football. You can't put them in a glass bubble. You can't get better at football in shorts. You got to put on pads and you got to play the game. And in order to get them ready for the first game, we're going to have to tackle live. We're going to have to tackle in open spaces, but we're also going to have to be smart. This isn't going to be 150 play scrimmage tomorrow, but it will be pretty intense with the kicking game, because we got to get that one done.
What's the healthier team looking like going into the game week?
Really, I think DeCluett at this point really is the only one that I can say probably for sure is going to be out the opening game. I think I'm saying that correctly. I don't have an injury report in front of me, but I think he's the only one that's for sure out. There's a number of guys that are probable and questionable at this point. We're just going to have to see how they're going to finish up with some of the injuries that happened earlier with guys like Pinson and Eddie Johnson.
Any guys that have left the team during fall camp, with fall camp wrapping up?
Let's see. We had Nick Bickham. Nick Bickham left to transfer down to a school closer to home, and Travis Taylor has left the program. Both of those two have made decisions to go to other programs and pursue their football elsewhere.
I know last scrimmage, 130 plays, you said you're not going to do that much.
No.
Is there a format, though? I mean, I know vanilla was the word you used for last scrimmage.
Right.
What's kind of going to be the format for tomorrow?
This will be kind of like our pregame. This will be almost like an opening game. Kicking game will be during the scrimmage rather than before. It'll be incorporated before, and I mean, it'll be live. It'll be scrimmage. It'll be a lot of the calls that we're going to run against NC State on both sides of the ball. It's going to be kind of like we've been spending this week on NC State and splitting up into scout teams some, and kind of spending about 20 to 30 minutes a day on our game plan, and then we'll try and go out and see how far away we are from executing it, and hopefully we can clean up some of the things and see exactly where we are with it before the first game.
Are you still evaluating the depth chart?
We are
at this point.
Yeah, I mean, we talked earlier, the last time we talked about the offensive line and kind of the battle going on at right tackle. And that's what I was referring to when I was saying that there's some positions that are battling, and this scrimmage is going to be really important in developing who that starter is going to be. But there's a battle going on at right tackle. There's a battle going on at left guard. There's some battles going on at linebacker. There's some good competition battles still going on. And I think it's making everybody better and pushing everybody through kind of the pain and nagging things that you have during camp, and making everybody continue to push through it because of the competition on the team right now.
Does it make you feel a little bit better that the bulk of your skill position players are pretty much locked in?
Yes and no, and I wouldn't say they're locked in. I mean, I think right now with Tevin King and Kenneth Dixon and Blake Martin, they're still, I mean, who's going to get that nod there for game day? Those guys are still competing, and they're all three have had a great camp. Excuse me. I look at the wide receivers right now, and I think Jakari Jackson has had a really good camp. He's done some good things, and he's pushing DJ Banks every single day. And I think Sterling Griffin has been pushing Richie Casey, number 1 over on the other side. I think there's still some good battles going on, so I wouldn't say that they're all set just yet, but I think Friday will go a long way in determining that.
In your mind, will you be, after tomorrow's scrimmage, you'll be able to determine who your starting quarterback is going to be?
Yes, I mean, yeah, and I feel pretty comfortable right now with that, with the overall camp that Scotty has had, that it will be his. I mean, I think he has won the job through spring ball. He's won the ball through fall. He's won the job through fall camp. I can't see him one scrimmage him losing it all, because right now I would give him the nod. I think that Ryan has gotten much better. He's improving. He's getting better. But right now, I think Scotty's pretty much secured that position at this point.
So you ready to name the starter right now then?
Yeah, I mean with him, yeah. I mean
so he's starting NC State.
Yeah, right now I feel pretty good about that. I mean if he goes out there and throws 32 picks and makes some bad decisions, but right now I feel pretty good about that.
When you look at Paul Harris, he's had a good fall camp, and his athleticism. Has there been any talk about moving him to maybe inside receiver, with him only having 1 year of eligibility left?
Well, right now when you look at your inside receivers and you look at Hunter Lee and you look at Andrew Gilliott and you look at Cathcart and Greenwald,
not much room.
You look at what Trent Taylor's doing. I mean, we can move him there, but right now as our third quarterback, he's pretty much solidified himself as the third. I mean, and so right now to move him from there, if I felt like I could move him and get him on the field in a significant role, I would do it. But we have looked maybe at having him contribute a little bit more on the special teams.
Something kind of off topic, but I want to talk about Mark Snyder, your former DC.
Yep.
When you hired him at South Florida,
played each other in the Outback Bowl when he was at Ohio State and I was at South Carolina. Like I said, we've got a relationship that goes way back, and then he was the head coach at Marshall when I was at East Carolina. We spent a lot of time together, a lot of conference meetings and things like that. Played against his teams, watched his teams compete, watched him compete, was just really impressed with them. And when things happened there at Marshall and I had a defensive coordinator position available, because at that time Greg Hudson had left to go to NC State, I was going to hire him at East Carolina. I was going to try to hire him at East Carolina. And then when I went to South Florida, and it just really, we spent 2 great years together. I think the world of him. He's a great football coach. He's smart, he's intelligent, he has a great rapport with the players, but he's a great competitor, and I think that's one of the things that makes him such a great coach.
What do you think some of his strengths are in terms of player development?
Well, I think just his knowledge of the game. He's been around some great players, but he's got fire, he's got energy, he's got passion. They're going to play the game the way it's supposed to be played. They're going to play it with some energy, and that's exactly what he brings to the table. I think he's a really good coach. He relates well to his players. He knows fundamentals. He knows the game. But I think he's an excellent football coach. I thought he was an excellent head coach. Thought he did a great job at Marshall, finally turning that program around from where he inherited it, where it was, with some of the scholarship limitations and everything else, to finally growing that program to be a bowl team. I thought that was one of the tragedies, you know what I mean, to see the job that he was doing there and to see him let go. And that's why as soon as the day I heard it, I had him on the phone. I mean, and I'll do anything I can to get you here. I was recruiting him from that day.
Coach, he faced La Tech last year. Being close, did you all talk at any, either before you took this job or any time thereafter?
We talked beforehand. We talked before I took it, when the whole thing was going on, kind of the process, when the process was going on. And he talked about the athletes, talked about, I'm telling you, Quentin Patton and that little running back they got. He said they give you fits, they run in a great tempo. He said, I think it'd be a great opportunity.